Hey guys, Michael from Copper vs Glass, and in today's video we are checking out this care package from Caudabe. Now they make some minimal iPhone 16 Pro cases, and that's what we've got here today. Now I don't actually know exactly what they've sent over or just how many they've sent over, so let's just take a quick look inside the box side of things here. So as you can see here, we were founded on the idea that more isn't better, excess is seldom tasteful, and to be minimalist is to be thoughtful. Now that's a pretty good slogan for a company that makes some minimal cases, so let's check out just how minimal and how nice they can actually be. Now as you can see here, we've got this little package here. Now this isn't going to be your standard packaging. The actual boxes the cases come in here will be what you guys get if you order one for yourself. Now as you can see here, we've got 8 different cases to look at today, so let's just jump straight in. And a little bit of a spoiler before we get into today's video, in this package is one of my favourite cases for the iPhone 16 Pro. And a huge thanks to Caudabe for sending over these cases for the purpose of review. As always, I'm going to have them all linked in that description down below, so let's jump in. So here we have a lineup of all of the cases that they sent over for the purpose of the review. Now this here is the actual packaging you're going to be getting if you guys pick up a case for yourself. It's got a little bit of information about the company, the actual case itself, and also some of the key features down the bottom here. Now we've got 4 different designs to go through in this video, and the unpackaging experience is going to be exactly the same regardless of which case that you go for. This one here though is the Caudabe Sheath. Now as you can see on the inside of the box here, it's got a little bit of information with regards to the warranty and the return side of things. Then you've got the actual case itself just below here, and then also below that you are going to get a little bit of information just with regards to Caudabe and some of the other products that they offer. And starting off here with the Caudabe Sheath, this is the first case that we're going to be having a look at. Coming in at around $43, it's not the most premium or the cheapest case in the market, but it still offers a ton of nice protection and some nice features. You've got metallic buttons here, so you've got the power button, which is completely metal, and also matching the case, along with the volume up and down and the action button. You've got the camera cutout here with a little bit of an accent on there just to add a little bit of flair, along with some very, very minimal branding on the bottom of the case here, and I actually kind of like the fact that there is very minimal branding. You've also got the camera control button and all of your cutouts on the bottom for the USB-C side of things, and also your speaker and microphone. On the inside, you're also going to get a super nice microfiber lining, along with a ton of information with regards to Caudabe and the actual case itself, and you've also got some protection in the corners here, which we'll look at a little bit later on in the video. So in regards to actually dropping your device, or in terms of the overall protection side of things, I think this case has pretty much got you covered while still being extremely slim and minimal. Now, as well as the standard colours like this grey one here and also the black one down below here, you can also get some of the Elemental collection, and I've got the eucalyptus green one here. Now the great thing about this is they actually give a little bit of money to a non-profit, and that's in regards to the non-profit for American forests. So they give a little bit of a donation in regards to planting trees and just in general making the environment a little bit better for everyone moving forward. Now, case-wise, it's going to be exactly the same with the metal buttons, the microfiber lining, and everything else about the case itself. Now, it's kind of a little bit of a TPU style case, but it's actually some of the more stiffer and more secure TPU that I've used. It doesn't really bend all that much, and again, once you've actually got your phone installed, it doesn't really move around. Even down the bottom there, it's very thin with the USB-C side of things. It is extremely secure. Now, also the fit side of things with any of these Caudabe cases is extremely good. Sometimes a little bit hard to get in, and I activate Apple Intelligence every single time now that I'm doing a case review, which is a little bit annoying. But as you can see here, once you've actually got the case on the device here, it looks pretty darn good. And I have to say as well, the fit feels incredible on this first impression. Now I have been using the grey one for a little bit longer, so although this is a review, I'm also just having a look at some of these other colour options that we've got here. So with regards to the camera protection, you've got pretty good camera ring all around here, so if you're placing your phone backside down, no issues at all having to worry about the camera or the lenses side of things there. This green also looks super nice with this white colour combo. Again, you've got all of your metal buttons for the power button, volume up and down, and the action button, and down the bottom you've got a massive cutout here for the USB-C, so no issue at all with any USB-C cables, along with the speaker and microphone side of things here as well. And like I say, you've also then got the camera control button. Now for me, this is probably one of the weaker sides of the case itself. There's not sort of a massive dimple or huge dip to actually get to the button itself, so it's maybe a little bit deeper than some of the other buttons out there. Again, you've got that very minimal branding on the back side of things here as well, but again, the feel in the hand feels super nice and also pretty grippy as well. The buttons are also super tactile. I've got no issues at all with using any of the the buttons, whether it's the power button, volume up and down, action button. They're all extremely clicky and very tactile as well. And again, just in general, the feel in the hand, it's got a very nice sort of grippy texture to it. If you remember the sandstone version of the OnePlus devices, for example, it kind of feels like that, but not just on the back, all around the case itself. Now, when it comes to the camera control button, like I mentioned beforehand, it is a little bit deeper than maybe what you may be used to on some other cases, or if you've got a case with a built-in button. So getting in there and actually using the control side of things, yes, it's a little bit finicky, but you can still use it for those one or two occasions that you're going to be using the camera button over the lifetime of actually having the device here. But as you can see, it's a little bit deeper than you may be used to, a little bit more recessed, but then again, you've also got the same sort of recess on the actual screen itself for the lay on the protection side of things. So if you're going to be putting your phone face side down, no issues at all. Now, you've also got a little bit of a design up at the top side of things when it comes to the earpiece as well. I'm not sure how well it's going to come across on camera, but you've actually got sort of a little opening here to better allow you to hear people because the earpiece is so close to the edge of the phone. You've also got the same sort of thing down the bottom here, just a little bit of added protection when it comes to the USB-C side of things, just to make sure that that bottom bit is very secure and again, it doesn't sort of move around, or it's not very flimsy at all, in all honesty. And again, in terms of the overall design of the case, I kind of like it with the white iPhone that I've got here as well and this green color, and it looks pretty good to me. Now again, for $43, there are some other cases that you can get, and yes, they may be a little bit more premium, but I think this one actually feels really nice overall. Now taking it out is also a little bit of a challenge just because of how good the fit is, but I'd rather it be a super tight fit like this one here, and it's not going to be going anywhere. So when it comes to the overall protection side of things, this one does a very nice job while being extremely minimal. Now next up then we have the Synthesis case, and this one comes in around $45, features a lot of the same stuff that you would get with the Sheath, but is a little bit more on the bulkier side and a little bit more protective compared to what you may have. You've still got the metal button side of things, you've still got the cutout for the camera control side of things, but you've also got this super nice texture all along the side here as well, so again, it just makes it a little bit more grippy even compared to the Sheath, which is still pretty grippy overall. Although it does have maybe a bit more of a plasticky type feel to it compared to what you had on the previous case. On the inside, although you're paying a little bit more, you do lose the microfiber lining side of things on here, which is a little bit of a disappointment. You've still got some of the information with regards to the actual case itself, the fact that it is also made with the shock light material. Now what that basically is going to do is if you're going to be dropping the device, or if you're going to be using it and actually, you do drop your phone from time to time, you've got a ton of shock absorption, mainly in the corner side of things here. Like I mentioned towards the start of the video where I showed off on the inside, you do have a little bit of a texture on there. Now this case is also extremely hard to put on, but again, once it's on there, again, Apple Intelligence, but once it's on there, it is extremely secure. Now as you can see, it does also pick up a ton more fingerprints than the last case, and yes, it's a darker case, but in general, the actual material that it's made of is going to be a little bit harder than what you're going to find on the Sheath side of things as well, and again, adding to the overall protection side of things, but it's definitely going to pick up fingerprints on the darker colors like this blue version I have here, and also on the black version. Now you've still got all of the great same protection on the back side of things here with the camera side of things, and it's a little bit more recessed than what you're going to find on the previous case, again just adding to the overall protection. You've still got the same metal buttons here, and again they are extremely tactile and very easy to use, along with pretty much the same cutouts on the bottom for the USB-C and also the speaker and microphone side of things. Now like I mentioned though, it is going to be a little bit more protective. You've got a higher lip on the front of here, so if you're going to be using it face down, or you've got a screen protector on here for example, you are still going to get a ton of protection on the front of the device, along with the back, sides, top and bottom. You've still got the super clicky tactile buttons as well, and just in general, I think this case, while a little bit more on the premium side of things in terms of price, only by sort of $2-3 or so, offers way more protection than the previous case that we've looked at. And again, you've still got that super recessed camera button, which again is even more recessed on this case because it is a little bit thicker around the edge side of things here. So again, you can see here that it would be nice if they do redesign this case, or just in general with their whole lineup, to have a camera control button that is going to be covered, because again, getting in, controlling it, doing all of the things that you need to can be a little bit finicky with these particular cases. But then again, if you want the protection side of things, that's kind of something that you have to put up with. And even on their own website, they do say this is their most protective case that they've got. They've also reinforced the sides and integrated the shock absorbing ridges into the inner perimeter for even more drop protection. Now, some of that may be marketing speak, but for me, it feels very, very protective. And I think if I'm going to be using this case on the daily, going out out and about, or if I'm going to be using it in a more sort of rugged environment, if I want to go for maybe a longer walk or a hike, whatever it may be, I think this is probably going to do a better job than the Sheath does. Again, taking the case out is a little bit of a struggle, but then again, it fits extremely nicely, probably some of the best fitting cases for the iPhone 16 Pro. So overall, two very nice cases, but then we move on to the Paragon case. Now this one comes in at $48, and for me it's kind of a fusion of the Sheath and the Synthesis with a little bit of added flair. Now as you can see, you've also got some very interesting lay on the table sort of things where you get more lay on the table at the top and bottom than you do on the side, so we'll see how that goes once we actually get it onto the device here, but it's not going to sort of bow or stretch or anything like that. On the back you do have more of a plastic feel to it, but it's also got a super nice kind of pearlescent effect as well. Here I've got it in the orange colorway, but you can also see on the white one here, it kind of shifts color from time to time depending on the lighting you're looking at. Maybe it looks a little bit blue or purple, for example, but this orange one is extremely bright and very vibrant. I don't think you're going to be losing your phone anytime soon if you're using this particular case. So with this one, we are back to having that nice microfiber lining on the inside, along with all these same shock protection as well. This has been tested at around 2 meters or 6'6" in terms of the drop protection. So again, I think if you're going to be using it from day to day, you don't really need to worry about it all that much. You've got a very nice polycarbonate back shell and also the shock-like polymer on the sides, and you've also got some nice grippy texture here as well. So in regards to the overall grip side of things and just in general how well it's going to fit, it fits extremely well. Now I'm just going to see if I can get it in the other way by not activating the Apple Intelligence, and yeah, no, you can't. With these cases, it's best to go in with the volume side of things first, click those in, you're ready to go, click in the other side, and if it activates Apple Intelligence, then it does, you can just get rid of it. But once the actual case is on, this one is probably the most secure case out of all of them that I've tried. I kind of hurt my thumb a bit putting the case on, but this case is not going anywhere, so I have no worries at all that if I'm going to be using this device, or if I drop it from time to time, it is going to be completely fine. Also, you compare it with a screen protector as well, and you've got a ton of protection on the front side of things here. So overall, this is probably the most protective, although on the website it says the Synthesis is their most protective case. This one to me feels a little bit stronger. So again, taking a quick look around the back of the phone here, you've still got a ton of protection when it comes to the camera side of things. It's actually a little bit shallower compared to the other ones, but I think that's because the actual back of the case sticks up so much. You've also then got these same color match buttons, again being the metal buttons, and you've still got that super deep cutout there for the camera control side of things as well. Down the bottom, you've got as much space as you need for the USB Type-C, speaker and microphone, and this is a little bit wider than on the previous two cases, so if you do have a particularly large USB-C cable, then again, no problems at all. Again, you've got those super nice, super clicky tactile buttons on the side here, and I also really do like this orange colorway. The buttons are a little bit sort of a copper bronzy type color, but again, they're still extremely usable. As you can see, no issues at all. Volume up, down, action button, power button, no issues there. Now again though, when it comes to the lay on the table side of things, you can see that it's got a slightly different design to the other cases we've looked at, where the lay on the table side of things right on the center of the actual screen is a little bit less than what you're going to be getting at the top and bottom side of things. So again, it's got kind of a curve to it when it comes to the lay on the table design, but for me that just means again, if you are going to be dropping it face side down, you shouldn't really have anything to worry about. Now while the sides are a little bit lower than what you get on the top and the bottom, I still think you're going to be completely fine here. And again, like this case and all the cases that we've looked at so far in this video, they feel incredible once they're on the device. For me, a company like Spigen or even Apple's official cases were the gold standard when it comes to the overall fit and finish, but actually these Caudabe cases are probably the best fitting cases that I've ever used on my iPhone 16 Pro. Yes, maybe sometimes they're a little bit hard to get on and off, but in regards to the overall protection side of things, the look, the style, the feel in the hand, they are pretty darn good to me. And like I mentioned, we've looked at 3 different cases, kind of going up in regards to the overall protection side of things, and then we get onto this one here. Now this is going to be the least protective case, but probably my favorite out of the bunch. And this is the Ve coming in at $33. Now this is the cheapest one on here. Yes, it does pick up some fingerprints, but it's the thinnest and basically makes it feel like you're just using your standard iPhone while still having some extra grip on the side of things here as well. So it's extremely thin, the most minimal case they do. You've got no actual buttons on here, it's just a pass-through. You've got a USB-C cutout on the bottom, but you've also got a little bit of added protection down the bottom as well with the covered microphone and speaker side of things. Getting this case in is super simple to do, but once it's in there, it is pretty pretty much locked in, and it looks and feels incredible because again, it adds so much in terms of the overall look and feel of the device itself, a little bit of extra grip, a little bit of drop protection, but the main thing about it is it basically just feels like your naked iPhone. So as you can see here, the camera ring side of things, because it is such a thin case, does stick out a little bit more than what you're maybe used to with some of the other cases. All of the buttons work completely fine as you would expect because again, there's no coverings whatsoever, so the buttons you're pressing are just the standard iPhone buttons. Down the bottom you've got a USB-C cutout, but you've also got some holes here with regards to the speaker and microphone, so again, no larger cutouts like we saw in the previous cases, and even though it is extremely thin down the bottom here for the USB-C, along with the actual size of the case itself, you can see that they've kind of reinforced it a little bit, so you don't really get much movement down this particular area or even on the sides, and that's kind of the same for all of these cases. Once they're on there, they are on and not going anywhere. You've also got the grip side of things on the side of it here, so again, if you are used to using your iPhone without a case, you still want that same feel, but with a little bit extra protection and grip to it, then this is probably the best option out there. And kind of obvious at this stage, but this is also going to be the easiest Caudabe case to use when it comes to the camera control side of things, because again, there's no deep cutout, there's no covering whatsoever, you're touching the button that Apple put on the device the way that they intended it to be used. So again, in regards to getting access to all of those controls, using the camera control, swiping between different options, then again, no issues at all, but it's still got a little bit of grip around it for when you're actually holding and using the case. But it just feels really nice in the hand. If you're used to using your iPhone and you're used to the sort of thinness and just in regards to how premium it feels, then this case here still offers a little bit of protection while still keeping that nice sleek design to it. However, for me, out of all of the cases that we've looked at in today's video, it has to be the Caudabe Sheath that takes the crown. Not just in regards to the overall features, the minimal design and the fit and finish, but it just feels the best out of all of them. It's super grippy, super tactile, but it's still got a very minimal design to it. And also this eucalyptus green one is probably my favourite colourway out of the ones that they currently offer as well. It just feels really nice. Now, of course, we also have to talk about the MagSafe side of things. So I've still got my official Apple leather wallet here. So again, starting off with the Caudabe Sheath, you can see that it goes on pretty well, but it does have a little bit of movement to it that you may not be a fan of. It kind of feels like that the downward alignment magnets aren't necessarily doing their job very well, and it's kind of hard to explain. So the MagSafe side of things, for some reason with the wallet anyway, isn't amazing. Now, I have used it on my in-car charger, for example, and also on my nightstand, and it works completely fine for wireless phone chargers, but for some reason accessories like wallets and battery banks, for example, just don't really do a very good job for some reason. And that's also the same for the synthesis side of things as well. Now, while the magnets on here do feel a little bit stronger, I think it's because the overall texture being very sort of slippery on the back side of things here, that again, it just doesn't really do a good job when it comes to the overall magnetization of any MagSafe accessory that you want to put on the back of your device. It's a little bit disappointing because this blue and orange colorway goes extremely nicely, but again, the magnet side of things just isn't super strong. Now for me though, the last case that we're going to be looking at here has the strongest magnets out of the bunch. So with the Paragon case, the magnets just feel a lot stronger, and I know it's a little bit strange because the last one I said had a smooth back, so that's maybe why they didn't work so well, but this one has the smoothest back to it, but I think the downward alignment magnet side of things is really what sells it for me on this particular case when it comes to MagSafe. It feels really nice, it feels extremely strong, kind of no issues at all here. So again, when it comes to the MagSafe side of it, obviously with the Caudabe Sheath, it feels nice overall with the case, but the MagSafe is a little bit lacking. Now of course, we still have to look at the Ve side of things when it comes to MagSafe, because this particular case where it is so thin has no MagSafe magnets at all. So as you can see here, just using the case itself, nothing at all. There's no magnetization, nothing stays on there. So again, we'll see how it looks once you actually get the phone in there, because sometimes with the super minimal thin cases, you do get a little bit of pass through when it comes to the overall MagSafe side of things. And yes, it does kind of magnetize on there, but again, I wouldn't really be using this long term. I wouldn't be using it on a car charger, for example, or a car mount. If you go over maybe even the smallest of bump, this case is going to fly around. So again, the MagSafe side of things is kind of a no-go with this particular case. Although if we did want to buy a magnetic ring that kind of sticks on the back separately, then you got the option to do so. So although these two are my favorite cases, I think this one here has the best MagSafe option overall. And again, even this orange on orange colorway looks pretty nice to me. And that's going to do it, guys, on this case roundup for Caudabe for the start of 2025. Now, I'm not sure what they've got planned moving forward, but if they do want to take some constructive criticism, I would maybe think about maybe just redoing all of these cases, keep them exactly as they are, the same fit, the same finish, they feel incredible, but maybe just add a camera control button to get rid of that super deep dimple that you've got on the side of every single case. Also, the minimal case side of things feels really nice, but it would also be good if maybe in the package it did come with a stick-on magnet, for example, so you can still use all of your MagSafe accessories while still keeping that thin, minimal design. But in general, if you're looking for an iPhone 16 Pro case, I don't really think you can go wrong with any of the options in this list from Caudabe. And like I mentioned at the start of this video, a massive thanks to them for sending all these cases over for the purpose of review, and they will be linked in that description down below if you guys want to pick one up for yourselves. Also, while you're down there, if you did enjoy this video, be sure to give it a like, and if you're not already subscribed, now's a great time to do so. And of course, once you've hit that subscribe button, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you're notified anytime I post a video here on the channel. Also, let me know in the comments section down below, moving into 2025, what phone you're using, what case you're using, and just in general, maybe any accessories you want me to take a look at here on the channel moving forward. I'm Michael from Copper vs Glass, thanks very much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video.